Welcome back to Sports Universe, everybody. As I mentioned before, we're going to get into a finals competition and performance comparison of LeBron James and Michael Jordan. To begin, I'm going to start off with Jordan and give you his brief overview before I get into LeBron James. Jordan had a 6-0 finals record, which almost everybody who follows basketball knows. 2 3-peats, which was broken up by Michael Jordan's retirement of basketball to pursue his baseball career, which we all know didn't work out. Jordan had wins over the Lakers in 91, the Trailblazers in 92, the Suns in 93, Supersonics in 96, Jazz in 97 and 98. Although Jordan won 6 NBA championships, and it's fairly impressive to have never lost in the finals, in my opinion, Jordan really never faced a true competition, I'd say. He beat the Lakers team in 1991, where Magic and the Showtime Lakers were at the end of their dominance. They were all out of their prime. It was kind of like the transition from Magic and Bird to Jordan. Just Jordan. That's the fact that you got to look at. It went from Magic and Bird and Isaiah Thomas and all these tough teams to just Jordan. I don't think there was a player who you look at in that decade other than Michael Jordan and say he was dominant. He was the best. Like, he was hands. Maybe Malone and Stockton, I give you that, but he didn't face Malone and Stockton in the finals until the end of the 90s when they were almost out of their prime. I get it. Jordan was getting old too, and he was still playing at a high level, but I would have rather seen Jordan play Stockton and Malone when he was playing baseball in 94 and 95 rather than in 97 and 98 when he played them in the finals and dominated them. He beat the Trailblazers in 92. Their best player was Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler is an awesome basketball player, but he's no Michael Jordan. He doesn't compare to Michael Jordan. I don't think that anybody else on the team for the Trailblazers was Hall of Fame quality or even championship quality. Beat the 93 Suns. There's Charles Barkley and the Brick Squad. That's basically it. And 96, he was able to beat the Trailblazers. The Supersonics, who, although they had a team of over 60 wins, I don't think I can name you a player on that roster other than Gary Payton. I don't think if you walked up to anybody who says that they follow basketball can name you a person on the roster other than Gary Payton. Jordan also had on his team during his second three-peat, he had Scottie Pippen, a Hall of Famer, Dennis Rodman, a Hall of Famer, lockdown defender, who I think in the 90s would be one of the only players who had a chance of guarding LeBron. A chance. I wouldn't even say he'd be able to guard LeBron. I'd say he'd have a chance. Or even just stopping LeBron. It's not like Jordan was playing by himself. It's not like he was like Gary Payton on the Supersonics playing by himself. It's not like he was Clyde Drexler on the Trailblazers playing by himself. Or Charles Barkley on the Suns. He had 2 other Hall of Famers on his roster, both at the same time and at one time in the early 90s, just Pippen. But some people will say Jordan made Pippen, or like Pippen isn't the same without Jordan. I put that debate to wash. Because when Michael Jordan retired, quote unquote retired, to play baseball in 94-95, Scottie Pippen led the Bulls to 2 50-plus win seasons. So you can say that Michael Jordan progressed Scottie Pippen's development or enhanced it, but I don't think you can say that Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen made himself, made a name for himself. He was able to do things without Jordan and proved a lot of people wrong by doing that. And to cap it off in 97 and 98, he faced Stockton and Malone at the end of their career, out of their prime, to like when you would consider a big 2 nowadays, which, I mean, a big 2 nowadays would probably finish 6th in the Western Conference or like 5th in the Eastern Conference due to all the super teams. Jordan in the finals put up ridiculous stats over 35 games. He averaged 33.5 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Averaging 33.5 points per game over a 35-game stretch is like averaging 34 points a game through almost half of a season, which I don't think we've seen in the NBA in a really, really long time. I think the closest person we've seen do it recently is Kobe Bryant, and recently to that, maybe Carmelo Anthony or Russell Westbrook. I don't think that anybody's even come close to 35 points. I don't think anybody will come close to 35 points soon. The big thing that leaves the debate still open is the fact that Jordan took an 18-month break in between both of his three-peats to pursue minor league baseball. This seems a bit fishy to me because I don't understand why an all-time great, considered quote-unquote GOAT of basketball, would leave his sport, a sport he dominated, a sport he owns, in the middle of his prime to pursue minor league baseball. Doesn't really add up to me. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. One of them, which I'm actually very intrigued by, was that Jordan has a very large history with gambling. And I like this theory. I don't know if it's true. I don't know the truth to it, but Jordan had bet on games and gambled on basketball games, and the NBA had found out about it. So instead of suspending or even kicking out their league star indefinitely, they made a bargain with Jordan and said, if you leave the league for a year or two and pursue something else that'll still get you media, still keep you relevant, we'll let you come back, we'll let you play, but you just have to take these years off or else you're not going to be able to play again. I think it's true. To be honest with you, I think it's true. But I don't know. You're never going to find out. He'll never admit to it. But to be honest, I think if he had never taken the break off to play baseball, he would have won 8 straight finals. He was that good. This wouldn't even be a debate. I don't think this would be even a question. But he took the breaks. He only won 6. He opened LeBron the door. So with that being said, I'll introduce my LeBron stats. LeBron has a 3-5 finals record. Not too good. But he's been in the finals 7 straight years, which is unheard of. You've never really heard of a player even making the playoffs 7 straight years, other than the San Antonio Spurs or Greg Popovich. But to make the finals 7 years in a row after a grueling postseason, making the final 7 years in a row is ridiculous, to be honest. No athlete in any pro sport has done it. It's just, once again, you got to tip your cap to his shape and his physical ability. So his 3 wins came over the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2012, the San Antonio Spurs in 2013, part of his back-to-back tour with the Miami Heat, and he had an improbable victory over the Golden State Warriors in 2016. To, I guess you could say, make his finals record seem a little bit better, I think his competition, other than the Mavericks loss in 2011, has been way better already, and he still is in his prime, than Jordan faced his whole career. He faced a team in 2007 of the San Antonio, you could call it a Big Four if you want to include Greg Popovich in it, because I think he's the key to their success always. But a Big Three of Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan, all of them in their primes in 2007, which was in the middle of the San Antonio dynasty, which I think is still going on if you ask me. I mean, anytime you have Greg Popovich head coaching your basketball team, you're going to have a chance to win. He stood no chance. His second best player was Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He had Jamario Moon, Delonte West. He had no help. But I think LeBron's coming out party that year was the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, when he scored 27 straight points in Game 5 against the Pistons in an overtime win against probably the favorite to win the NBA championship that year. Them and the Pistons and the Spurs were in a tight battle to see who was the alpha dog of the NBA. LeBron put an end to it and let the league know, I'm here, I'm not messing around anymore, and I'm going to be here for years to come. His next appearance in the finals came in 2011 after he joined the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, which I guess you can say is a reason why he has all these super teams now. But I'm not really sure. He never really pinpointed. He lost the series, embarrassing series, 4-2. Dirk Nowitzki was on fire. You couldn't miss. You got to tip your cap to the Mavericks for playing a hell of a series. LeBron was nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter. People coined him as not a winner. He couldn't win the big game. He had all the pressure on him. He went to a place where I've never seen an athlete go. He was pissed the next year. In 2012, 2013, he was a man on a mission. He defeated Oklahoma City Thunder with ease. The Thunder team, which, when you look at it now, is loaded with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, all three who, in my opinion, last year could have gotten consideration for an MVP, which Russell Westbrook eventually took home. He was able to capture that elusive title he so desperately coveted, in the words of Mike Breen at the end of the game, of Game 5. It wouldn't be a segment without shouting out Mike Breen. His traditional bangs after three-pointers always get me hyped. And then the next year, he won in 7 games against San Antonio, and if it wasn't for Ray Allen, I don't think he would have gotten the ring. LeBron missed a 3, but just the attention LeBron caused allowed Ray Allen to get open in the corner. Chris Bosh to be able to snag the offensive rebound. After the win against San Antonio, he followed it with back-to-back losses against the same San Antonio team and a Golden State Warriors team consisting of MVP Steph Curry and a new style of basketball with the run-and-gun three-pointers. The next year, down 3-1 against the best regular season team of all time, 73-9 record, the Golden State Warriors of 2015-2016. He embarked on the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history, where he was able to bring Cleveland its first sports franchise victory in decades. And this win caused the Warriors to assemble a squad combined of two former MVPs and 2 All-Stars, as well as productive role players off the bench as an Andre Iguodala, former All-Star, Sean Livingston, great 6-man, David West, former All-Star, just to beat a 32-year-old LeBron James. That's the statement right there that puts him aside from Jordan. If people wanted to beat Jordan in the 90s, they could have. They could have done what we have now. They could have joined forces. They could have been. They didn't. People join forces now, and they still couldn't beat LeBron. That shows what a competitor and what an animal LeBron James is. To go over his stats, he had 27.6 points per game in over 45 games in the NBA Finals, and he averaged 7.5 assists and 10 rebounds per game. He is also the first player to average triple-double in the 2017 NBA Finals against the Warriors, where he averaged 34, 12, and 10 over a 5-game series. If you're going to base it off of wins, it's Jordan. And I don't think there's a really valid argument for LeBron James as in finals, because he has so many losses. He doesn't have as many wins. He has more tries, and he doesn't have 6 championships. If he was 6-2 in 8 tries, I still think people would be debating Jordan's still the best. But I think you still gotta give it to Jordan on this one, just because he's got 6 rings in 6 tries. But if LeBron within the next 10 years, I think he can play for another 10 years until he's in his low 40s, can win 1 or 2 more championships, the debate is dead. It shouldn't even be a question. LeBron James will be the greatest basketball player of all time when everything's said and done, and I don't think that it. Right now, I think that it's very debatable, extremely debatable, but if he gets at least one more ring, I think we'll do it. 4 rings, I think we'll do it. 2 more will seal the deal. Wouldn't be a question. And especially if he beats this loaded Warriors team, I don't think he's got a shot. I don't think Jordan has a chance to be in the discussion. I think he'll blow him out of the water. This Warriors team is considered the greatest regular season basketball team of all time. I don't think that you can say that lightly. You can't say a 73-win team losing in the finals to LeBron James is an easy task. I think you can say Michael Jordan beating a Portland Trail Blazers team led by Clyde Drexler in the NBA Finals is an easy task. Is it an extremely easy task? So before I did this segment, I had asked some friends to give me some questions to answer in my third segment. My Merge boys from back home gave me some hot takes I'm gonna discuss in the third segment. So stay tuned, and I'll hit you with the facts.